If you've been with me on this channel for a little while, then you know that I've been conducting a series of interviews with veteran leadership and executive coaches. I've been having these long-form interviews to give you a lot of insight into the world of leadership and executive coaching, and to give you ideas on how you can be a more effective coach and have a more successful practice. In this clip, I've taken a selected question and answer from one of the past interviews to give you an opportunity to reinforce an existing point if you've already watched the whole interview, or to give you an opportunity to just learn a little bit from this executive coach. If you like this question and answer and you haven't watched the whole interview, I highly recommend that you find it on this channel and do so. What are a few quick ways salespeople can improve their listening skills?
I love that. And let me give you three. So I'm going to break my two, but I'm going to give you three. I think first of all is the silence. Silence is really important, particularly in the American culture. And the reason for that is research suggests that we generally respond within a half a second when the other person quits talking. But 3 seconds is where people start getting a little bit uncomfortable. And that oftentimes makes the other person break the silence. So as a salesperson, I would recommend really practicing the pause. Bite your tongue for 3 seconds after the client or the prospect has finished speaking, because chances are they're going to break the silence and continue speaking and get you some of that information that you really need to know. So I think practicing the pause is a really important one. I also think that recognizing that only 2% of the population ever gets any listening training at all is really important. And so making sure that you're getting listening training that's based on the research, as opposed to an individual's perception of what listening is or what listening should be. And that listening education, I would say, really needs to take place with a coach. So you have some one-on-one time to actually practice the skills. And the reason for this is you and I both know, everybody knows when they hear this, that behavior, and listening as a behavior, never changes based totally on knowledge. So I can read all of the books I want about how to become a better listener, but if I don't actually practice it, I'm not going to change my behavior in it. So you can't just know something, you have to know and do something. And then the last thing I would say is it's really important to understand some of the listening research that does exist. We've been studying listening for well over 50 years. And I think I had said the analytical mindset before. I think one of the most exciting pieces of research that's been out in the last couple of years that really can help salespeople is this idea that individuals have different listening filters, meaning that's what we listen to and that's what we listen for. So we can learn to identify, obviously, our own listening filters, but our prospects' listening filters. And the reason that's so powerful is because once we can identify their listening filters, we can start speaking into their listening filters. So we're more quickly aligning our communication and really speaking their language. So I would say the three things really are staying silent for 3 seconds, getting a coach and getting some training, being in a program where there's actually practice that's involved in it, and understanding the research that supports it.